let's talk about, because the Giants kind of with that win, um, they're kind of changing the narrative of their season. It was looking like New York isn't going to be able to win any football games outside of the only win that they have. But let's talk about who is going to end the season with the worst record, and then who's going to end the season with the best record. There's one quarterback that I wanted to put on the hot seat. He is on a pretty hot seat right now, but his team is just not working out, man. I did say that this team has some grit because for some reason, for 3 quarters, they're pretty much in every game. It's like, are they going to pull it out? But in that fourth quarter, man, they just get ripped apart, It's just like they literally, like they're, all right, the team is the Detroit Lions, man. And if you think they're going to win, or if they got you thinking they're going to win, they're literally lying. Because like they're 0-7 right now, and they're 0-7. And when I look at the rest of their schedule, it's hard to find a win. Coach Campbell said he's going to take hunks out of kneecaps, and he's going to do this and he's going to do that. And I get it. The team is fighting. This week he's kicking onside. He's doing goofy stuff because he's trying to get a win. Like they are now desperate and thirsty for a win. And they're going to – here's the fact. Jared Goff, you know what? They might get a win this week against the Eagles. That would be crazy. Let's talk about why. Jared Goff, before Sean McVay, was 0-7, right? After Sean McVay, he's 0-7 again. He got his first win after his first 7 losses before McVay. Can he get his first win after his first 7 losses without McVay? Probably not. Only in a fairy tale that will probably happen, right? The Detroit Lions are not playing well, and this may be a year where they may be the only team to go winless twice. They're the only team to go winless, but they may do this twice. This is not a good year for the Detroit Lions, and I do think that they are going to finish the year with the worst record. I do think so.
I have them. They are unfortunately number 1, or I guess number 32, however you want to look at it, on my list as well. They are 0-7, but they are a good team. They have grit. Like you said, they have heart. They are competing. It's not a complete cluster like the other 2 teams I'm going to mention in this bottom 3. I actually think, I don't want to say they should hold their head up high, but I don't think, they should be sunk as low as, some of the fans are holding their heads. And honestly, if you look at the aggregate of, all the teams' records, like for the remainder of the year versus, what they've done so far in the first half, the Lions' schedule for the second half of the year is the 9th hardest in the entire league. So to your point, Will, it is going to be really tough. Now, the next 2 teams we're going to talk about have actually the 4th and the 8th easiest schedules based on those aggregates. But with those teams, I just see dysfunction. I see disorganization. I just see rosters that are completely incomplete. They're incomplete. They're and it's possible that the Detroit heart gets them 2 wins. That is possible. Could get them 3. These 2 teams, I'm like, maybe 1 more win. One of them is Urban Meyer's Jacksonville Jaguars. They have the 8th easiest schedule, and
Mike Tyson version.
The 4th easiest schedule belongs to this horrendous, just garbage team. They are the New York Jets. I have a bone to pick with Joe Douglas. I said it any of my people who follow me on Twitter, followers, I guess is that word. I'm having a whole bunch of brain farts. So I'm just so upset thinking about these Jets right now. Joe Douglas, they say, oh, we're real confident in our 3 QBs. Everyone is saying, what are you doing? Why do you have a quarterback with there's no person in the quarterback room, including the coach, that has NFL quarterbacking experience? How is your QB going to learn? This is your franchise guy, second overall pick, highest drafted QB. How is he supposed to learn when no person that has experience is around him? Oh yeah, we're good. Then Zach goes down. Now we're giving up picks for Joe Flacco, who was our backup last year. What?
What was the point, right?
What? So, like, are you guys just that foolish in thinking for some reason that Zach Wilson, who was literally injured in college 2 years ago, would just magically never ever get hurt in the NFL? You didn't need a backup. You would never have to worry about playing Mike White. That's just stupid. It's stupid. And the team is in disarray. I would not be surprised if they won one other game, even with this easy schedule. Same thing with the Jags. They're just in disarray. So it's not all on the line. I think those 3 are going to be picking in the top 3 of this year's NFL draft.
Yeah, man. See, the strength of schedule point, I know it takes into consideration records and all of this, but when you're just not a good team, your schedule's not easy. It doesn't matter what the other teams are doing. Like, you are not a good team. I mean, that's a really good point. Woody 3, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been keeping up with Woody's 3 is a number of wins that the Jets may not get to, right? Woody can get to 3 points. The Jets may not get to 3 wins. It looked pretty disastrous last week, and it definitely is a management problem. When you have a rookie quarterback, you surround that quarterback with a vet. I've never seen it in the NFL that we're going to have a rookie quarterback. And this isn't a rookie quarterback from the SEC like Mac Jones, who has played in some big-time football games, right? This isn't a rookie quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, who at Clemson played in some big football games. This is Zach Wilson from BYU, who hasn't played in big-time games. He put up some big-time numbers, right? But he hasn't played in the bright lights. And you bring him to New York City, and you do not bring in a veteran quarterback to show him the ropes. Now, I always got to fit Dak Prescott into the conversation, right? Listen, real quick.
I don't think come on. I'm hurting already. The last thing I need.
One of the biggest attributes to Dak Prescott was when they brought in John Kitna just to show him the ropes, right? Because obviously Tony Romo was a big attribute to Dak's rookie season. He would not have done that well without Romo being there helping him the entire way, right? But then when Romo was out of the building, Dak was looking a little average. So they brought in John Kitna, who helped him get that release faster, helped him with his mechanics, right? Helped him out tremendously. Even Mark Sanchez helped Dak out. All of these veteran resources helped Dak. And look at him today. All right, that's enough about Dak, right? Let's talk about Zach. They haven't given Zach anything. And I may not be a Jets fan, but I absolutely hope next year they do better by that man. Because you turn the franchise over to him. He's actually a really good guy. He can be a leader of men, right? His teammates do believe in him, but he's not ready right now. And he doesn't know how to prepare because nobody in the building can help him get prepared. So he's trying to do too much with his arm talent, and he's learning the hard way. And now he's a little dinged up for a couple weeks. Oh, and now you go get Joe Flacco. So, yeah, I wanted to say the Jets are going to finish with the worst record. But it's really hard to see a win for the Detroit Lions. I do think Detroit is going to get a win. If I had to pick a game, I would think they might surprise and beat Atlanta at the end of the year. Because Atlanta is just that type of team where it would be so ATL for them to just lose to the Lions in the football season. Speaking of ATL, right? We're not changing subjects, but just got to shout out the Atlanta Braves in the World Series, right? So that's our little outside moment on the Side to Side Sportscast right now, right? Shout out to the Braves. They may do that thing, right? But let's talk about some of the teams now who may finish with the best record in the NFL. And I don't know about you, Woody. I was looking through the schedules. There's some good teams out there, man. And the team that is so underrated, I just want to bring this up. This isn't the team that I think is going to finish with the best record. But right now, they are at top of the AFC. And they come out of that division that you and CJ laughed at me when I said it's a tough division. This is the only division in football right now where every team is at least 500, right? We're talking about the AFC North and the Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase looking like the NFL's next elite dynamic duo. Jamar Chase is looking like Randy Moss, the only receiver in NFL history to have over 700 yards throughout his first 7 games. That is he's on pace for 1,800 yards, right? But that's not even my pick. I just needed to put that out there real quick. I'm going to have to say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers may literally finish the season 16-1 or 15-2. If you look at the rest of their schedule, I think they may have lost to the team that is probably going to give them the hardest time, the Rams. There's other teams out there that have, that are the Cardinals. Like the Cardinals are currently undefeated, but I don't think that's going to keep. I think towards the end of the season, they're going to have a little string of some losses. Still going to be a great team in the playoff picture, but I can see late in the year, they might start taking some lumps. I don't see that with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, listen, they are rolling, man. They're just rolling. They've got injuries to the secondary, and they just keep rolling. They bring somebody else in, and that front seven is elite. Like it may be legendary elite. It is hard to get stuff going against that front seven. It is very hard. And Tom Brady may be playing the best football of his career, and he's 44 years old. He's just so confident, so poised. It's like he just gets more relaxed every year. Like you hear him after the game, he's like, I'm not going to stop playing football until it's just no longer a burning desire in my heart. Like when you talking like that, man, and you drop back in the pocket, you ain't worried about these dudes trying to sack you. You're like, you know what, man, I love this game. I'm in the pocket and, there's my guy. Get him the football. You go. Right. And you want to talk about Dak got all these receivers. I don't ever hear you talk about Tom Brady. Tom Brady, you got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Bryant, right? And you got Leonard Fournette, who is now finally establishing himself in the NFL. And you got a great offensive line. It's just, you're strong in the trenches. I really don't see Tampa Bay losing more. Now, I was wrong about Kansas City. I mean, I gotta eat crow on Kansas City because I said they was going to finish the year with 3 losses max, right? But after that, beat down Tennessee, and I gotta eat crow on Tennessee too. I called them fake. I called them pretenders, and then they just bust Kansas City to where you like, man, who is Tennessee? But I don't think I'm wrong about Tampa Bay. I think they're going to finish the year with 2 losses max.
Well, the fumbles continue because you called AB Antonio Bryant.
Dang.
But it's all good. No, we're fumbling today. Yes, we are fumbling. One note about the Chiefs. Patrick is getting a lot of flack, and yeah, he hasn't been great. Or what we've seen is literally Madden numbers. So when he produces mortal numbers, right, it makes it look way worse than if Sam Darnold had those numbers. But that defense is literally at the bottom of the league in almost every statistical category.
Atrocious.
They are going through a lot right now. The Titans, I actually still have my doubts. King Henry though might have just crept up into my top 5 for the MVP. I mean, the man, he's literally. I'm not sure if I've ever called somebody king like that before, but I mean, he's. I feel like I have no choice but to bow down to King Henry. To answer your question,
Do that for LeBron. But anyway, go ahead, man.
say that one more
No,
time.
I'm not gonna repeat it. I'm not gonna repeat it. It's on tape. Go ahead. Go ahead. To answer what question?
Well, it looks like you've been stealing my notes about these schedules because clearly Tampa Bay is at the number one. Pretty much everything that you said, so I'm not going to say it all again. Shout out to Todd Bowles, lackluster head coach, incredible defensive coordinator, and Tom Brady. He is a goat. 44 years old, 44 years strong. The man still is out here scrambling for first downs every once in a while. I love it. Every single time I see him, it's like I don't know. It gives me the same feeling as like when I see my grandfather across the street. Like it's like, oh, you can still do it. Do you need my? Oh no, you still. All right, you can do it. All right, God bless. And that's literally what Tom Brady is doing. He does have weapons. And using that strength of schedule, the Cardinals are 7-0, and based on that same list of aggregate records that I was going by before, the Cardinals are the 10th easiest, and they're 7-0. You can find losses in there, but I would really be surprised if they lost more than 3 games, especially with what Will Gaddy always says about Kyler's endurance. I mean, he's not taking hits. I mean, the sky's the limit for that team. I mean, that team is just too good. I think a sleeper, a dark horse pick, and this team has the 6th easiest record, and they currently only have 2 losses, even though their last loss was bad. It was bad. Chargers. Justin Herbert and the boys. I mean, they're a very good team. We've seen it. They're just trying to still find their way. I mean, Staley is still trying to find his footing as a coach. But I mean, their record is easy. Their team is talented. They could definitely find themselves with the NFL's best record, depending how things go. So I would definitely not sleep on them. But yes, my guess would really be Tampa Bay.
Yeah, man. It does look like Tampa is in a good position to really get. I mean, they last year, once they got clicking, they didn't lose again. I think they won. They ended the year on an 11-game winning streak, and this year they started off rolling. They got lumped by the LA Rams. And sometimes that's what you need. Now they're back. They're back in action. And it's looking like they are going to end this season strong. And man, I don't want to see Tom Brady get 8 Super Bowl rings. I really don't. So, we'll see what happens. But